I remember being 9 years old and going to the dentist. I hated going as they made me wait ages in the waiting room and I really hated it. But since it was near my birthday, as a reward, my mum took me down to our local WH Smith's and I was allowed to pick out one video game. I then ran home in excitement with my game in hand. I then booted up my Nintendo Wii.
Super Mario Galaxy!
Super Mario Galaxy is one of my favourite games of all time, and is my all-time favourite Mario game in the entire series. I have fond memories of rushing home from school and putting loads of hours into it. And in this first ever episode of the Retro Café series, I'll be taking a trip down memory lane and replaying this all-time classic. For those who don't know, Super Mario Galaxy is a 3D platformer for the Nintendo Wii and also released on the Nintendo Switch as part of the 3D Mario All-Stars collection, but it first released on the Nintendo Wii in Japan on the 1st of November 2007, making it 16 years old plus. It is the 11th entry in the Super Mario series and the first 3D platformer. Galaxy was a bit of a departure from the series as 64 and Sunshine were semi-open area collectathons, whilst Galaxy focused on a more linear game design approach of getting one end of the course to the other whilst collecting the Power Star at the very end. Super Mario Galaxy's development can be traced all the way back to the development of the Nintendo GameCube. A tech demo in 2000 called Super Mario 128 was shown off to the public. The title was meant to insinuate that the game in development was actually a sequel to Mario 64 and had you play as 128 Marios on a spherical planetoid. Mario 128 was merely a tech demo, but its core ideologies were then later implemented into Super Mario Galaxy, as well as games such as Metroid Prime and etc. The game was developed by the Tokyo team, the same team that finished Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. They were then tasked with making a new innovative 3D Mario game that could be enjoyed by all ages. They also wanted this new 3D Mario game to have a more fleshed out and cinematic story approach. Mario games don't usually feature a lot of story. Sunshine was the first real attempt at a more fleshed out story, and it even featured voice acting, but Galaxy 1 took this to the next level. The opening was fantastic and still lives on with me today. I remember at the time sitting in awe at my telly as Bowser basically destroys most of the Mushroom Kingdom and kidnaps Peach, launching Mario into the deep depths of outer space. The game takes place during the Star Festival, which is a comet that passes over the Mushroom Kingdom and causes magical stars and stardust to fall to the planet below. Peach invites Mario to her castle to join in the festivities, and to receive a special thank you gift. As Mario arrives at the castle gardens though, Bowser suddenly attacks. Mario is then awoken by a Luma on a small planet. Here he meets the other Lumas as well as Rosalina, a mysterious woman who acts as the protector of galaxies and the mother of all Lumas. She tells Mario that her ship, the Comet Observatory, had its power stars stolen by Bowser. Without them, the Comet Observatory is unable to move through space. Rosalina asks him to reclaim her power stars. In exchange, she offers to help rescue Peach and defeat Bowser. As well as the sort of great representation of characters like Bowser, Mario and Peach, this was Rosalina's first real on-screen appearance, as she later obviously appears in Mario Kart and other spin-offs, but this game also features a really great storybook sort of backstory for Rosalina, and you can actually see her reading it to the Lumas, and it's really sort of heartfelt, cute, and it's illustrated in a beautiful way, and it's just a really great way to introduce her to the Mario series. Gameplay is somewhat different from the previous Mario titles, as rather than being played strictly in 2D or 3D, the game occasionally shifts from 3D to 2D and vice versa, although the core gameplay is largely in 3D as you sort of traverse planetoids and throughout the galaxy. The game also utilises sphere walking from Mario 128. Remember the tech demo that I mentioned earlier? The game vaguely resembles 64 and Sunshine, but it's its own beast. You'll start off in the Comet Observatory, which is the central hub world for this game, and going through each areas which contain individual planets, and then collecting power stars at the end of each planet level. These power stars then later power areas of the hub world which allow you to access more planets. Basically it powers each area, such as the kitchen for example, or the engine room. And what's really cool is you can sort of see in the floor like the individual power cables going to each area, and it's just a really nice touch with the music, the floating Lumas, Rosalina. It's just really great. Here, Mario's moveset really shines. New to his moveset in Super Mario Galaxy, Mario uses the Luma's power for a spin jump, a jump which not only can be used for platforming but can also be used to attack enemies and activate objects in the environment. Mario can also jump, ground pound, long jump, triple jump, wall jump, and using the Wii remote or the Joy-Con to shoot collectible star bits, which are essentially used as currency. If you collect enough you can get 1-ups, and you can also use them to feed hungry Lumas which unlock power-ups and other planets as well, like special planets. This is also used for the premise of the 2-player mode. There is actually co-op in this mode, but it's not really that good, as only one player gets to play the game as Mario, and the other is stuck essentially being a secondary cursor shooting star bits. This is for me the stereotypical like sibling game where you'll have like the older sibling playing as Mario and then the younger sibling stuck being the cursor. Mario also has loads of new power-ups which can let you transform into a Boo to pass through walls, a bee suit which to climb on walls and to hover and looks really cute and really fun. Essentially Mario's a bee here, what's not to love? You also have the ability to pick up red and green shells to use as projectiles, and a spring power-up to bounce for higher jumps, but these are only a few and there's loads more throughout the game and they're really fun and creative. The game's outer space theme also uses gravity and outer space exceptionally well. You can long jump around entire planets and even use low gravity sections to reach faraway platforms. You can even jump from one planet to another if they're close enough in orbit. Some of my favourite levels though include the Honey Hive Galaxy, which introduces the bee suit, the bees, and focuses around honey and bees helping out the queen bee. We also have the Good Egg Galaxy, which acts as a fantastic introductory level into the game and even has a boss fight with Dino Piranha on a small planetoid. This level's brilliant because it teaches you all the main mechanics of the game and it's really great. There's also the Loop-de-Loop Galaxy, which also allows Mario to surf on a giant manatee. In time trials using motion controls, you essentially turn the Wii remote or the Joy-Con round in like you're opening a door with a key motion to surf across the water whilst trying to get the quickest time for the power stars. You also have amazing boss fights as well, which include Bouldergeist, which is a giant sort of rock enemy and you're throwing boos at him. You have a Boo race where you have to essentially grasp the Boo power-up and warp stars to get to the end of the level, and Cosmic Mario races, which I hated as a kid, where you essentially race a creepy outer space Mario to get to the end of the level first. This was the first ever Mario game that used an orchestrated soundtrack, and it's gobsmackingly good, with the Toy Time Galaxy, Gusty Garden, Honey Hive, Good Egg, and the actual theme of the Comet Observatory being some of my favourite tracks. I think the orchestra was brilliant because when the game wants to get serious, the orchestra really kicks in, especially with the airship theme, which, fun fact, was also used in the new Super Mario Bros. Movie as well, which was nice to hear. But the music was just so good. But it wasn't just the music. Super Mario Galaxy has been met with universal acclaim, receiving a near-perfect score from Game Rankings from 78 reviews, making it the highest rated game on the website, whilst also scoring 97 on Metacritic as of April 2023. And if you know anything about Metacritic, it's really hard to get a good score on there, and Super Mario Galaxy is just beloved by the entire Nintendo community. I understand that some people, may prefer Super Mario Galaxy 2, 64, Sunshine or Odyssey, but for me, Super Mario Galaxy is my all-time favourite. Now, here's where we get into some spoilers. I know I've already talked about the game a lot, but if you don't want any sort of final boss, final story, completion spoilers, here's your chance to leave now and play the game. In Mario Galaxy, if you get all the power stars, you unlock Luigi. You essentially can play through the game again and unlock all the power stars again as Luigi. Nintendo also weirdly didn't change the missions where you actually play as Mario rescuing Luigi, so basically if you play as Luigi, you'll still be rescuing Luigi, which was really weird to me as a child. These were also some of the most memorable Bowser battles to me, with smacking Bowser into these massive planetoids with the sun and the engine of his sort of perfect created galaxy in the background. It was just brilliant. But after Mario defeats Bowser in his brand new created galaxy, he retrieves the last Grand Star and then rescues Peach. Just then, a large sun in Bowser's near complete galaxy undergoes a supernova and becomes a supermassive black hole, which begins pulling in everything around it. The Lumas from the Comet Observatory throw themselves into the black hole in order to neutralize it, sacrificing themselves, and it then evaporates in a massive explosion. Mario appears in front of Rosalina, who saves him from the black hole and supernova, and tells him that it's not the end, but a new beginning for the entire universe, which then repeats this cycle indefinitely, each time a little differently. With Mario and all the characters you meet throughout the game appearing safe in a reborn Mushroom Kingdom, the game then ends in a brand new created galaxy, as well as the entire universe. This was my first Mario game I really loved. Although I played Sunshine and 64 before it, I would have been around 4 or 5, so some of my memories of playing those are a little hazy, but I still remember I had a good time with both of them. But Super Mario Galaxy drawed me in from the very beginning at the Star Festival, with its fun gameplay, amazing power-ups, fun levels, memorable music, and a more cinematic, serious take on the tried and true Mario formula. This is why it's one of my favourite games of all time, essentially, and it's my favourite Mario game of all time. Thank you so much for watching the Retro Cafe, and for more retrospective takes on classic games, stay tuned for more in the upcoming series. The next video is probably going to be the original Mass Effect, so I look forward to doing that. Goodbye, and I hope to see you soon again at the Retro Cafe.